Hi there, students. Skinhead. What exactly is a skinhead? Well, a skinhead is a member of a subculture, and they have very close-cut hair, or even completely shaved, and heavy army boots, and they're often perceived as very aggressive. But the skinhead movement has changed a lot over the years. Nowadays, the skinhead movement is seen as very right-wing. So he was the leader of a gang of right-wing skinheads. But originally, the skinhead movement was without politics. It was apolitical. Nowadays, it's known for its short hair and its boots and its right-wing racist ideologies. But that's not really where the skinhead movement started. The skinhead movement started in the 1960s, probably in the late 60s, and let's see, it was a result of being alienated. To be a skinhead was a mark of working class pride. It's a reaction against, I think, the hippies and middle class England. And I think the skinheads were working class solidarity. They had been alienated by society, and I think working class culture was disintegrating through unemployment and inner city decay, and this was an attempt to get back the solidarity amongst the working class and to take an identity in a world where there was social change everywhere. Originally, the skinheads were very fond of Jamaican music. Especially the Jamaican rude boys, and this is perhaps the beginning of ska, and the first skinheads they lived in the same poor working class districts as the Jamaican immigrants. And this gave birth to ska, and this is something they liked to listen to. This slowly died out, but in the late 1970s there was a big revival, or a second wave of skinhead culture, and originally the first skinheads in the 1960s, they weren't political. They didn't belong to a political group. But during the 80s, they started to have more political affiliations. They started to become associated with the National Front and the British movement, and British things. And by the 90s, neo-Nazi skinhead movements existed all over Europe, but in Germany and all sorts of countries. Let's see, the Dr. Martin boot was traditional of the skinheads in the 60s and in the 70s and the 80s. Nowadays, skinheads probably don't wear Dr. Martin boots because they're not made in the UK anymore. But these big boots, this is also a characteristic of skinhead culture. And jeans which are turned up at the bottom or deliberately short so that you can show off the wonderful boots you're wearing. And the short hair. I think a traditionalist skinhead would wear braces as well, what the Americans call suspenders, and very often hats, a pork pie hat or a trilby hat or a flat cap. So yes, and well, the music then moved forwards. So a skinhead. Nowadays, the skinheads are perceived as white supremacists, and I think the movement has changed a lot since it first started. So the attacker was described as a white skinhead in his early 20s. In the 80s and 90s, skinheads converged on the high street, throwing Nazi salutes and intimidating non-white people. But yeah, the original skinhead movement was apolitical. It didn't support any particular party. And there are still today skinheads against racism. But generally the skinhead movement is associated with youth gangs with close-shaven hair, and they often have white supremacist beliefs. So he had a skinhead haircut. He wore a skinhead-style jacket. The punk band had a skinhead following. The documentary explored the skinhead culture. Okay, so skinhead, 5 informality, used absolutely anywhere. So, skinhead. Bye for now.